لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Brothers, for those who don't know me yet, my name is Hashim. I'm 37 years old. I come before you from Sydney, Australia. We come in the name of Allah Azza wa Jal to spread His message and hopefully lead by example to encourage other brothers to come back and repay the favor in Australia, inshallah. Brothers, before I start, I want to apologize to all the elders. If I say something wrong, please forgive me. Because my story only goes for about 10 minutes, but it's very sensitive. Brothers, I'm 37 years old. My mum and dad were born in Lebanon. They migrated to Australia in 77. They had me in 78 in Australia. And my father had this dream, his kids to become good Muslim boys. So from a very young age, he put us in a Muslim school. And I stayed there all the way till I was 12, and then I made it my mission to get kicked out of school. I've done everything humanly possible until they kicked me out. From when they kicked me out, I was 12 years old. I thought, this is life now, I'm free. I can start living. From 12 years old to 35 years old, I did not practice Islam. I didn't pray, I didn't fast. In fact, anything that to do with Deen, I ran the other way. Even though I came from a perfect home, mum and dad pray, they've been to Hajj, my sister's been to Hajj, all my younger brothers have been to Hajj, but I chose another path. When I hit 30 years old, I started taking drugs. Very heavy drugs. Drugs in Australia, my brothers, is very expensive because Australia is an island, and anything that comes into Australia, they got to obviously pay a couple of people to get it in. So subhanAllah, I found out here it's $40 for this much. In Australia, it's $350 for the same amount, same drug. I thought it was a social thing. I had everything under control. 1 a day, then it went to 2 a day, then to 3 a day. To cut a long story short, because we don't have much time, my habit turned to $10,000 a week. In the meantime, a girl comes into my life. She's from an island called the Cook Islands, where, from what I understood back then, there's not a single Muslim on that island. She comes into my life and she wants to know, she goes, what religion are you? I said, I'm Muslim. I said, what are you? She goes, I'm Jehovah's Witness. She says, can you tell me about Islam? I went, I can't tell you much besides, we believe in God and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She says, how can I tell more? So I went to a bookstore and I bought her a book in English and Arabic. So she started reading. She got hungry. She wanted to know more, so she went to a school. I didn't take her, she went. She fell in love with the Deen that much, she came to Islam, alhamdulillah. Then from there, she wants to know more about Deen, so she goes and starts studying Sharia. When she starts Sharia, she puts the niqab on. When she put the niqab on, I grabbed the niqab and I took it off. I said, what's this? We live in Australia. You don't need this. So she ignored me. But now it's been 5 years. 2 weeks later, she put it on again. I grabbed it again and she goes, we need to talk. So let's talk. She goes, listen, you've been 5 years drowning and I haven't said anything to you. But now I'm giving you 2 roads. One road, we can end it here because I want to follow my Deen and go to the next level. And being with you on this level, I'm never going to reach the next level. So we can break up peacefully and I'll make dua for Allah to give you hidayah and I'll go on my merry way. Or the other road is you can give up everything and We can go on this journey together. So I stopped and thought, okay, this sounds good, but why? There's nothing wrong with me. By then, brothers, I need you to visualize something. I was on drugs 24 hours a day unless I was sleeping. And then I needed to sleep. And the drug I take takes you right up to the clouds. So on the black market, I got a tablet called Xanax. I'm sure there's a lot of doctors in the building. Xanax is banned in Australia now. Very hard to get. They will only give it to you to bring you off on a low dosage. But they physically won't prescribe you Xanax to start with. Because it gives you dementia. Then while you're on drugs, you live the lifestyle, you start drinking alcohol. Then with the alcohol, you need a cigarette. So I was on 4 of them every day. So anyway, I woke up the next day, I thought, okay, well, if she wants me to go on a good path, there's only one person that can help me, and that's the doctor. So I jumped in the car and went to the doctor I've been going to for 20 years. I was the first one on his door. Went inside, good morning, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? I don't know. So he sent me to a psychiatrist. I took the referral letter, went to the psychiatrist, sat down with him for maybe half an hour, asked me questions. He goes, nothing wrong with you. However, here's a bill for $250. So next day I went back to the same doctor. I said, he told me there's nothing wrong. He goes, well, maybe there's nothing wrong. I said, no, there's got to be something. Maybe I've got brain tumor. So send me to get a scan. So he sends me to get a scan. I come back the next day with the results. Again, nothing wrong. Again, there's got to be something wrong. He goes, there's nothing. I go, so send me for a blood test. Maybe it's cancer or leukemia or something. So by now the doctor's getting very frustrated. So anyway, he sends me, does the blood test. Nothing wrong. This is Saturday now. I've been coming back to the doctors. And my wife just sitting there, not saying nothing. Sunday came, it was 9 o'clock at night. I was standing on my porch in front of my house. The phone rings. It's about 9:30 at night. It's my father. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. He said to me, son, have you had enough? What does this guy know? He doesn't know anything. You know, when you're on drugs, you think that you're in control and you think that you're the one thinking. But wallahi, brothers, the drug is thinking for you. The drug is talking for you. The drug is responding for you. The drug is controlling your whole life. So I said, yeah, I've had enough. He goes, look at everything you've got. Look at all the fancy cars in the drive. You've got gold and cars and fancy everything. I'm not going to get into detail because I don't want anyone to envy dunya. He goes, everything you've got, are you happy? I said, no. I go, but I've been to the doctor and he sent me to every doctor. And the last time I went to him, he kicked me out. He said, you can't come back here anymore. There's nothing wrong with you. You're driving me crazy. He goes to me, son, but you haven't been to the best doctor in the world. I go, you know a doctor. And you're ringing me now? He goes, yeah, he's open now. So I remember I looked at my clock, it's 10 o'clock at night. And forgive me, brothers, I know there's a lot of Indians in the mosque. The first thing that came to my mind, he's got to be an Indian doctor. They're the only ones that work 24 hours a day. They don't close. So I go, well, is he Indian? And he said, no. He goes, do you want to speak to him? I said, yeah. He goes, and I guarantee you he will help you. I said, who is he? He goes, san kul ma Allah wa la tubali. Be with God and don't worry. Didn't make sense. So he goes to me, go make wudu, pray 2 rakat. And in those 2 rakat, ask God to help you. And son, if he doesn't help you, do whatever you want. He goes, but in these 2 rakat, you need to be very sincere. Open your heart to God. I said, okay. So I went to the bathroom, turned the tap on, and I'm like, honestly, I said, where do I start? I haven't done it in 23 years. So have a guess who I called to help me. The Jehovah's Witness that came to Islam. I said, can you help me make wudu? So she comes along and she's teaching me, the one who was born Muslim, how to make wudu. So I make wudu. You know, she puts a prayer mat for me. She does the angle. Because I've never prayed in that house. We've been in that house for 7 years. I never prayed once. So she puts the mat, and I'm okay. I'm just about to say Allahu Akbar, but I'm trying to memorize the Fatiha again. I can vaguely remember, but I can't remember it properly. So she went and got her notes from when she first started reading. She wrote them in English and she put them for me on the prayer mat. So I went Allahu Akbar and I started praying. And I remembered my father said to me, when your head hits the ground in sujood, that's your mobile phone between you and God. And it's an unlimited timed phone call. Speak as much as you want. Talk to Him. So I went down the first time. And subhanallah, and I came to talk to him. And I said, man, I haven't spoken to God in 23 years. How am I going to ask Him now for help? So I started choking and crying and choking and crying and choking and crying. And I gave up and I came up for the second rak'ah. Then I said to myself, I've got nothing to lose. I went down for the second one. When I was down in the second one, I said to Him, God, be with me and I'll be with you forever. That's all I said to Him, be with me and I'll be with you forever. And I came up out of my prayer, finished, Samai Rahmatullah, and I got up. Wallahi brothers, I don't know what happened. Something hit me, I don't know what it was. I can never explain it. So my wife is sitting in the lounge room. I went there and said, guess what? She goes, what? I said, it's all over. Everything is over. She goes, what do you mean it's all over? I said, as of now, I'm stopping everything. She goes to me, hold on. Little bit. That's good, that's a good start that you admit it, but we'll go little bit. Okay, nah, it's over now. So she goes, oh my God, you've gone from drugs to losing your mind. So she rings my father. My father gets on the phone, he gets settled down. Tomorrow we'll go to the doctor, and the doctor will help you, and we'll go from there. This is beautiful. So next day, my dad picks me up, and we go to the doctor. Guess what, your doctor? The one that kicked me out. And he looks at me, he goes, you again. So we sit down, me, my dad, and my wife, and he goes to my dad, I told him I can't help him. He goes, he hasn't told you the truth. What's the truth? I said, I'm on Xanax and drugs and alcohol and cigarettes. How long? I said, 5.5 years. He goes, okay, so he starts writing prescriptions. He goes, how much Xanax are you on? And I told him. He goes, okay, I'm going to give you Xanax, but on a lower dosage. I will call the government, get an approval, because you can't get this drug. I used to get it on the black market. And he gave me another prescription for the alcohol, another prescription for the cigarettes, patches, and so on for everything. When he gave them to me, wallahi brothers, I tore him up. So then he looked at my dad and he got really angry this time. He goes, I told you your son is crazy. And I said to him, I've made a contract with God and I'm not going to break it. So then he grabbed the paper, I'll never forget it, and he drew a line straight. Then he went down. Then he wrote 0, and just before the big cliff drop, he wrote 5. And he turned it to me. I go, what's that? He goes, now you think you're Superman because from 0 to 5 is 5 days the drugs are going to stay in your system. After 5 days, your body's going to go into shock. All the poison is going to get out of your body, and your body's not going to know if it's Arthur or Martha. If you don't get to a hospital quick, it's maybe good night. I can't tell you what's going to happen to you. I said, if that's what God's written for me, that's what I'm going to do. My brothers, to cut a long story short, from that day till now, I've never taken a medication or a drug or a cigarette or alcohol and had a single craving for anything. It's been, next month it'll be 3 years. I just heard the Shaykh saying, rely on Allah and no one else. And wallahi brothers, we all underestimate the power of Allah Azza wa Jal. My message to everybody is without God you've got no happiness. Without attending the masjid on a regular basis you've got no happiness. And wallahi the Shaykh summed it up the other day perfectly. He goes, it's like a mobile phone. You know, you've got a mobile phone, you plug it in the charger. If you don't charge it, you use it, eventually the phone goes what? Dead. This is like your soul and your iman. If you don't attend the masjid on a regular basis to recharge yourself, eventually you're going to be dead on the inside, but you might be alive walking around, but you're a dead soul. That's exactly like a mobile phone. And this is what brought me here to South Africa. I just want to keep recharging my mobile phone.
Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar.